On behalf of the Whānau Samoa, New South Wales, the Miss Samoa New South Wales Committee, it is my honour as Secretary to warmly welcome our respected judges, our scrutineers, our honoured guests, sponsors, supportive families, and our lovely contestants. Ai me se fo ile tātou tausala o lo tawaweina le pale le nei tausanga, lawa fionga ta ia opo, Priscilla Tato. Welcome to the Miss Samoa New South Wales 2026 pre-pageant interview. Today marks an important milestone in the journey of our contestants. This interview segment is more than an assessment. It's an opportunity for each contestant to share her voice, her values, her aspirations, and commitment to serving our Samoan community with pride and purpose. This year's chosen topics focus on issues that are both meaningful and relevant to our community. Family values and cultural awareness, the importance of education, the importance of mental health. As Samoans, family is the foundation of our lives. Our values, our traditions, our language, and respect for one another to shape our identity and strengthen the bonds within our communities. Cultural awareness, it ensures that we continue to honour our heritage while embracing the opportunities and challenges of the future. Education remains one of the most powerful tools for personal growth and community development. By encouraging better education, we empower future generations to achieve their goals, become leaders in their chosen fields, and contribute positively to society. Mental health is equally as important. It's essential that we continue to create safe spaces for open conversations, encourage support for one another, and promote well-being within our families and communities. Strong minds, supported by strong families and communities, help build a healthier future for all. To our contestants, today is your opportunity to speak from the heart and demonstrate the qualities of leadership, confidence, integrity, and service that represent the spirit of the Miss Samoa New South Wales platform. To our judges and scrutineers, thank you for your time, your professionalism, and commitment to this process. To your families, your sponsors and supporters, thank you for your continued encouragement and dedication to uplifting these young women in our community. We wish each contestant the very best as you share your thoughts and perspectives today. We are excited to hear your voices and celebrate the talents and potential each of you brings to this journey. Thank you all for being here. At this time, I would like to invite the Whalisua Yapalolo Brown to lead us with a word of prayer.
Let us bow our heads and pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come to you. We call upon the power of your Holy Spirit to fill us, lead us, and guide us today. We ask for your wisdom, your knowledge, the peace that surpasses all understanding. As we get ready to hear from our young Tamaitai Samoa, we ask that you bless this gathering, bless this room that we are in. Bless our judges, our scrutineers, everyone who has a role today, and everyone who is here in support of our daughters. Father, we ask that you be with us, that you shield us and forgive us. But as we get ready to sit and listen, we commit this day, this pre-pageant interview to you. And we ask you, Lord, that we walk away from here not only changed, but challenged, empowered and uplifted through the power of your Holy Spirit and through the voice of your daughters who are going to speak to us today in their topics. Your many blessings from the beginning of this pre-pageant to the very end. To you be all the glory, honor, and praise. And everyone says, Amen.
Thank you, Balolo, for your thoughts and blessings. Uplifting message helped us make this occasion even more meaningful. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin our pre-pageant, I'd like to invite our director, Janice Zimmerman from Base, to come forward and guide us through today's interview process. She will basically explain the interview format, the scoring procedures, and how the scores from this segment will contribute overall to the competition results on our crowning night next week on Friday. As an important component of the pageant, the interview allows our judges to assess each contestant's communication skills, their confidence, their character, and potential as a title holder. Please join me in welcoming our director, Janice Zimmerman from Base.
Malo whaftai ana, o te whaatalo whātua, le swafa manu malo, le tatu tapa au le langi, e le sunga le whawhiangainga pasta tātō, whapia fo le tausala le Mille Samuelu New South Wales 2025 to 2026, e le tausala ia Priscilla tātō, whapia fo le mamalo tātō au whamasino, ia ai tainane fo le lale leo tātō te maitai, e tō tōlu o le a whapiona sa ili ai se tausala, mo le nei tausanga luafe lua ono, luafe lua fitu. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I would like to explain, just for the contestants' information. So the pre-pageant interview is the first segment of the whole interview category. So this part of the interview is worth 26 points, or the highest score is 26 points. The on-stage interview next week on the crowning night is also 26. So those two together, you have an aggregate of 52 points score. So the pre-pageant interview today is consists of your 3 minutes presentation on the topic that you picked as our module, as well as question and answer. As we spoke before, the time limit is 3 minutes. Our reserve judge, the lovely Alice at the back there, so she's got the bell. Once you've gone to 2 minutes and 50 seconds into your presentation, she will ring the bell to indicate that you now have 10 seconds before your 3 minutes is up. And once the 3 minutes is up, she'll ring the bell twice to let you know you have now arrived at your 3 minutes. And any 10 minutes after you've exceeded the 10 seconds, she'll ring the bell to let you know that you've gone 10 seconds. And every 10 seconds that you go over the 3 minutes limit, that's a 1 point deducted. And so for your information, the deductions of the points rest with our scrutineers and our reserve judge, not the main judges. So please bear that in mind. Again, so that score is out of 26. And I wish you guys all the very best and good luck. Whaftai.
Thank you, Janice. As we continue with today's program, it is my pleasure to introduce two individuals who will play an important role throughout our Miss Samoa New South Wales pageant. Now, the role of an MC extends far beyond making announcements. They are storytellers of the event, helping to create a welcoming atmosphere, guiding us through each moment with confidence and grace, and ensuring our audience remains connected to the purpose and the spirit of the pageant night. We are fortunate to have with us today the very same MCs who will also lead us through our crowning night celebration. Their warmth, their professionalism, and enthusiasm will help showcase the talent, the culture, and achievements of our contestant while bringing energy and excitement to every stage of the program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you our first MC, Balolo Brown, who is a health and wellness coach, a business founder, a pastor, a community leader, and a creative practitioner with more than 20 years of corporate leadership experience. In 2024, she founded Equip, Renew, Transform through a global Pacific project, providing a holistic approach to wellness that nurtures the body, soul, and spirit. A passionate servant leader, Balolo has served in ministry from a young age, leading worship since 16 and mentoring young people through youth leadership. Together with her husband, she pastors a church dedicated to strengthening faith, families, and communities. With many years of experience in dance, drama, music, stage production, and the performing arts, Balolo uses creativity to inspire and empower others. She serves as an executive member youth officer and an events coordinator for Samoa Day within the Whānau Samoa, New South Wales. She also works alongside firefighters, supporting people affected by cancer through wellness education, advocacy, and holistic care. Ladies and gentlemen, your first MC for today is Balolo Brown. All right, it is also my great pleasure to introduce one of our other Master of Ceremonies, Lea Fionga Yawhitialo Sonia Tongia Molesi. Sonia proudly traces her heritage to the villages of Whalealupo, Ngātai and Safotu and Savai, and Tuuainafua. Born and raised in New Zealand, she has proudly called Sydney home for the past 20 years. Professionally, Sonia is a National Australian Emergency Services Manager for catastrophic events, bringing leadership, resilience, and compassion to her work. She also holds a degree in Fashion and Design Technology from Massey University, along with a diploma in Communication and Risk Management. A gifted performer from the age of 7, Sonia toured throughout New Zealand, Australia, and the Pacific, alongside her siblings, earning numerous titles, including the New Zealand Entertainer of the Year in 2001. Her career later took her to the international stage, where she performed in Disney's acclaimed Broadway production of The Lion King, and she has since appeared alongside renowned artists and on television across New Zealand, Fiji, and Samoa. An accomplished singer, an actress, a dancer, a mentor, and creative, Sonia continues to inspire others through coaching, judging, and developing Pacific talent. She also serves as an executive member of the Whānau Samoa, New South Wales, where she is the events coordinator for the Miss Samoa, New South Wales. Today she returns for a second consecutive year as our Master of Ceremonies, bringing professionalism, warmth, humour, and a genuine passion for serving our community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to invite you to join me in welcoming Lawa Fionga Fitialo Sonia Tongia Molesi. All right, ladies, I guess you two will be taking it on from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
I am a child of this land, planted in love and faith. Though the winds of change may blow, my foundations remain firmly in God. The ocean reminds me of where I began. The mountains speak of strength. The language, customs, and traditions of our ancestors are treasures that must never be forgotten. I walk the paths prepared by those who came before me, carrying their wisdom and honour. For I do not live for myself alone, but for the family, my community, and my God.
O le tautua o lo upale, o le alofa o lo malosi, o le whamaoni o lo utaiala, ma o ke riso o lo umalamalama. Pe a pongisā le ala, o te vaai I le whetu o le whamoemoe. Pe a mamafa avenga o te iloa e lea tuulafua ina ue lea tua. O lea o te tūla iai ma le loto tele, tau ave lo wala au ma le whaamaoni, a wā lo whaasino manga moni e maua I lea tua malana finangalo.
Good morning and welcome to the official opening of the Miss Samoa New South Wales Pre-Pageant 2026.
Pacific women have long been pillars of strength, resilience, and leadership within their families and communities. Today, they stand at the forefront of empowerment, breaking barriers, inspiring change, and creating opportunities for future generations. Grounded in their cultural values and rich heritage, Pacific women continue to lead with courage, wisdom, and compassion.
Their voices, talents, and achievements are shaping a brighter future, proving that empowerment is not only about individual success, but also about uplifting others and strengthening communities. As we celebrate Pacific women, we recognise their vital role as leaders, innovators, and advocates who are transforming lives across the Pacific and beyond.
Now everybody breathe, please. Breathe, relax. It's very tense in here. Our house rules for this morning. Our lavatories, Poutoa Tuuainafua is through that door there. And in case of any emergencies, please run. Take every door that you see a green man above, right behind you. Those are our emergency exits. Please, a reminder, this event is strictly no live streams, no filming or photos. Please, if you do take photos, please do not release until Mille Samuelu has released their official photos later this afternoon. During each contestant's presentation, it is critical, please, that we give each and every one of them our full attention and quiet. So finally, all phones, please place them in silence mode or ringtones off.
As part of the official opening, it also includes the official judging panel and scrutineers for 2026. These valuable people have the difficult task to determine a crowning moment for one of our 3 contestants vying for the top honour. Moving along to our head judge for 2026, she goes graciously by the name of Samoa Adeline Samoa Amituanai. Adeline Samoa Amituanai is an experienced professional whose career spans the fashion, beauty, entertainment, health, and community sectors. As the final title holder of Miss Samoa Australia 2001, she proudly represented her community as a pageant contestant and ambassador. Holding a Bachelor of Nursing and Science, Adeline has worked as a registered nurse across diverse clinical and community settings. She currently serves as a Senior Pacifica Consultant and Child Protection Practitioner with the New South Wales Government Child Protection and Permanency Division, providing specialist cultural consultation to support culturally responsive practices with diverse families. Her work focuses on strengthening practitioners' understanding of cultural values, beliefs, and parenting traditions to promote cultural safety and inclusive service delivery. She hails from the villages of Mitautuapia, Laulii, Solosolo, Amele, Alaipata. A skilled public speaker, mentor, coach, and event host, Adeline has led numerous government, non-government, and community engagement initiatives. Passionate about empowering Pacifica youth, strengthening families, and fostering community well-being, she continues to be a respected advocate for leadership and cultural connection and positive social change. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome your head judge for 2026, Samoa Adeline Samoa Amituanai.
Introducing judge number 2, Tamara Apaola. Tamara Apaola has dedicated much of her life to the promotion and preservation of Samoan culture, language, and performing arts. In 1993, she attended Brigham Young University, where she further developed her knowledge and appreciation of culture, language, and performance. Her cultural journey has taken her across the globe, including performances at the Polynesian Cultural Center in Hawaii, the World Resort Exposition in Wakayama, Japan under the South Pacific Dancing Theatre Group, Leofo Village in Taiwan, and the Traditional Performing Arts Festival in Seoul, South Korea. In New Zealand, she contributed to youth development as a tutor in secondary school drama, performing arts, and polyfest programs. Originally from the villages of Samoa and Lefangoali'i Safunge, she served as the whaletua of A'oa'o Malua Theological College from 2013 to 2016. She currently serves alongside her husband as whaletua Whaiwheautoina in the Congregational Christian Church of Samoa at the Moorebank Parish in Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Judge number 2, Tamara Apaola.
Leading right along to our Judge number 3. Judge number 3, Salavao Letele Ausasala Parker, is a respected businesswoman, social worker, counsellor, and community leader with a diverse professional background spanning business management, customer service consulting, counselling, psychology, and bicultural professional supervision. She currently serves as the director of Parker Boxing, having held various leaderships and support roles within Team Parker. A graduate of Church College of Western Samoa, Sala served as a church mission in Samoa before migrating to New Zealand in 1987. Her achievements include owning successful boutique clothing store, receiving the Leadership Cup Award and scholarship from the Martin Hortis Institute, and earning qualifications in business management, social work, applied counselling, theology, bicultural professional supervision, and psychology and counselling. In 2026, Sala returned to Upolu, Samoa to pursue her lifelong vision of establishing a self-care and well-being check clinic, creating a safe and empowering space where individuals can access support, healing, counselling, and professional supervision services. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome the stunning Salavao Letele Ausasala Parker.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge number 4, Moangutitia Mautua Falealili Awimatangi Taufua. Born and raised in the beautiful village of Malie, Upolu, Samoa, she migrated to Auckland, New Zealand at the age of 12, where she continued her education and laid the foundation for a lifetime of service, leadership, and dedication to her community. In 1983, she proudly represented herself as a contestant in the inaugural Miss Samoa New Zealand pageant, giving her a unique appreciation and understanding of the journey our contestants are experiencing today. Moangutitia is also the widow of the late fiery Fred Taufua, a respected boxer who represented both New Zealand and Samoa and held the prestigious title of Pacific Middleweight Championship. A strong advocate for education and personal growth, she earned a postgraduate diploma in business administration in 2014 and a postgraduate diploma in community services case management in 2016 from Western Sydney University. Today, she continues to serve the community as a case manager, supporting individuals and families through her professional and community work. Her commitment to service extends to her role as treasurer and public officer of the Samoa Methodist Church, Mount Vernon Parish in New South Wales. Above all, she is deeply passionate about Siva Samoa and Anganu Samoa. She has dedicated much of her life to preserving, promoting, and sharing Samoan culture, traditions, and values with future generations. Please join me in warmly welcoming Moangutitia Mautua Falealili Awimatangi Taufua.
Well, that was quite the mouthful, I must say. To our judges, thank you so much for testing us with your beautiful, gorgeous names. We have been rehearsing all week. I was tongue-tied. I wasn't sure where to place my tongue or my mouth, but I think I did okay so far. But moving right along to our main 4 judges, we do have a reserve judge for our pageant this year. Our beautiful final reserve judge is the Alice Etuale. Alice Etuale is born in Samoa from the villages of Le'auva'a and Mangiangi, migrated to New Zealand with her whole family in 1986, then to Newcastle, New South Wales in 1991, a serving member of the Royal Australian Air Force for more than 20 years, marked by dedication, leadership and commitment to Australia. Enlisted as a medical assistant during 2000, changed career paths to aircraft maintenance, then to logistics, all within the Royal Australian Air Force. Having served 20 years and 11 months of full-time and currently 5 years part-time reservist, she also employed as a tool specialist for British Aerospace, RAAF F-5 aircraft, Va'ataua, Australia. As a proud Samoan serving in defence, I'm confident there are many Pacific Islanders proudly serving across the Royal Australian Navy, Australian Army and Royal Australian Air Force. Representation matters, and defence can encourage and motivate our youth to pursue opportunities they may not have considered. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our reserve judge for 2026, Alice Etuale. Now, just in case people are asking what is the purpose for the reserve judge, so what will happen is that if one of our 4 main judges are unable to fulfill their job due to an unexplained pregnancy or a family emergency, Alice Etuale will then step in and be a reserve judge on their behalf. So ladies, you've got a whole week to behave. No emergencies.
Thank you for that. Moving right along to our head scrutineer, Chanel Matangi. Chanel Matangi proudly represents the strength, grace, and cultural richness of Samoa and the Cook Islands. Born of the esteemed Stanley lineage of Wainganga and married into the respected Sewala family of Lalumangu, Alipata, she carries a legacy grounded in resilience, community, and faith. Her connection to Lalumangu is deeply significant, shaped by her husband's family's recovery efforts following the tragic 2009 Samoa tsunami, which claimed 7 loved ones. Chanel completed her Bachelor of Forensic Science at Western Sydney University, reflecting her commitment to justice and scientific excellence. She serves within the New South Wales Police Forensic Evidence and Technical Services Command, rising from Records Release Officer to Senior RRO and now relieving team leader. Her contributions earned her a New South Wales Police Appreciation Award for Project CNI Burn Rate. A devoted community servant, Chanel volunteers in the creche ministry and has supported English language learners through church ministry, honouring her heritage through service and purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our head scrutineer, Chanel Matangi.
Ladies and gentlemen, and not last and not least, we have a most handsome gentleman that is joining our panel this year, and I can see him at the back there. He looks extremely handsome. Please welcome our next scrutineer. His name is Bolataivao Fred Esau Toa. Born in New Zealand and raised in Samoa by his grandparents, who served as whewhiau of the Efakasa Church, he embodies the values of faith, service, and community leadership. He proudly holds the chiefly titles of Talo from Whaleu, Manono, Bolataivao from Whange'e, Savai. A dedicated servant of both church and community, Bolataivao currently serves as a tiakono deacon, treasurer, and public officer for the E Whakasa Camden. He is widely recognised for his commitment, leadership, and tireless contribution to numerous church and community initiatives. His passion for serving for others is reflected in his ongoing efforts to support those in need, strengthen the communities he serves. A proud husband and father of 3 sons who remains deeply connected to his Samoan heritage and is committed to preserving and promoting Samoan culture through various community programs and events. Professionally, he is an experienced security operations manager with extensive industry expertise, known for his proactive approach, practical problem-solving abilities, and strong work ethic. He consistently demonstrates a results-driven mindset. He is also passionate about mentoring young people, drawing on his own experiences to inspire, guide, and equip next generations of leaders for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome to the floor the handsome and ever good-looking Poutoa Fred Esau Zoa.
Made it through that.
We got through that, we did.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your patience, everybody.
Thank you.
Not long to go.
Now, for all those that are not clear on the weighting of the scores and rules, as our director mentioned earlier, just a brief reminder, each lady has chosen a topic. They have gone away and they have studied and they've written a presentation and on the importance of that topic. They each have 3 minutes to present, and then obviously the panel of judges will ask them 2 questions. Our timekeeper will ring the first bell in indication that they have the 10-second time before time is up, and then ring after that as well.
Should we check if the bell's working
Can we
before
check
we
the
start?
bell?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, very
Thank you.
good. Well done. Ding, ding. Very good. So that is the first part. So that every 10 seconds, remember, there is a deduction of 1 point. Okay, thank you, Director Janice. Just a brief reminder, with the questions, there is no time limit on the questions, just your original presentation.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished judges and scrutineers, are we ready? Ladies, are we ready? Okay, without further ado, this young lady has graced us with poise, elegance, and a love for performing arts. Please make welcome to the stage your contestant, number 1, Mille Samuelu.
When a single strand stands alone, it can be easily broken. But when woven together, it becomes strong and resilient. The art of lalanga, weaving, teaches us that true strength is not found in the single strand alone, but when many are woven together with purpose and care. Much like our Fa'a Samoa, our Samoan ways of doing, it weaves together the values of fa'aloalo, respect, alofa, love, and tautua, service. These core family values were passed down to us by our families and our elders. It helps shape the way we live, treat others, and how we represent ourselves as Samoans. E loa le Samoa I lana tū, savali malana tautala. A Samoan is known by the way they stand, the way they walk, and the way they speak. This proverb serves as a reminder that our culture is not only inherited by blood, but reflected in our character and our conduct. When we break this proverb down, we begin to understand the wisdom that our ancestors intended to pass on. Tu, it is about how you carry yourself with dignity and respect. Savali, it is the way we move with a purpose, humility and responsibility. Tautala, it reveals the conditions of our heart with the words that we speak. But if these values define who we are, how do we ensure that they are passed on? Our Samoan youth living in the diaspora today are faced with the challenge of balancing our culture and modern society, where our ngangana begins to fade, our anganu'u become less familiar, and our cultural identity becomes diluted. This is why cultural awareness is important. As a collective, we have a responsibility to ensure that our youth feel welcome and safe to practice their culture in our communities. Like Matavai Pacific Cultural Arts, where I attended for many years, it has cultivated a space where our youth can connect with culture through language, stories, dance, and arts. Linda Tuhiwai Smith states that culture is not something that simply exists. It is something our communities must actively reclaim, protect, and pass on. Our ancestors wove the foundation. Our communities strengthened it with the values of Fa'a Samoa. Now it is our turn to continue that weave so that our Samoan children can confidently stand and sing. Oa'u ole Samoa e, oa'u ole Samoa e, e lano lopale o tele mai ta'u atu. Whaptai.
Now you can breathe. Judges, when you're ready.
Good morning, Millie.
Morning.
That was lovely. Thank you for sharing
Thank
that.
you.
My question for this morning is, and I think you raised that throughout your topic, but I'd like for you to expand a bit more on it. How can young people preserve their culture and promote their culture in today's society for future generations?
Thank you for the question. I believe that our young people can preserve and promote our culture for future generations by holding tight and making sure that the foundation of love, respect, and service is practiced every day. We also have a responsibility as not only the youth, but as a collective, that we continue to create a desire and take that first step towards learning our traditions. This can be through language classes, through cultural arts schools, through community groups that further strengthen their identity and their purpose. And I believe that if our youth can continue to practice our culture, it brings a strong sense of pride in who they are as Samoans. I will use Matavai as an example. At the age of 13, I first signed up to Siva Samoa classes, and even though growing up in the church where culture is all around us, I didn't understand what it truly meant to be a Samoan. And in that class, I first learned of the story of Nafanua, a strong warrior princess of Samoa, and that's where I learned that we come from ancestors who fought to preserve their culture with no fear, with those values in mind. And that further strengthened my identity, and it helps me, and because of that, I can stand here today using this platform, using my voice to further strengthen and, to further promote our culture to our youth. And I know that it's hard to connect to our culture living in the diaspora today, but there are many resources available in New South Wales that our communities have built together. Resources such as One Love Mentoring, The Village, Matavai, Poland, the Police, Legal Enforcement Network. These are all services in place for our youth to connect with culture and and continue to pass it on. And I believe that when you feel strengthened in your identity as a Samoan, you have that desire to pass that on, which is what I try to do at Matavai through classes and as a senior show group leader, to teach our next generation to further carry our culture with pride and to not leave it at the door. Thank you.
Our next judge, when you're ready for question number 2. If we could just get our team.
Thank you for your answers, contestant number 1, Millie.
Thank you.
Just on the back of what Adeline has mentioned, how do the values passed down through your family and culture influence your sense of responsibility and your vision for strengthening Pacific communities?
Thank you for the question. I believe that the core values passed down to me by my family have helped strengthen my identity and my sense of purpose, because when we break it down, Tautua is probably the most important value that my parents and my elders passed along to me. When you have a heart to serve, it further reinforces those other core values of love and respect. I believe that we, as the eldest daughter in my household, I live this value by fulfilling my responsibilities in the home in whatever capacity that I can. It also starts in the church, the way we are taught to serve as young Tuuainafua, and I understand that role. I understand my role as a young Tuuainafua and how I can serve our church leaders, and there is that proverb, oleala le tautua, oleala le pule, sorry, too low. Oleala le pule o le tautua. The pathway to leadership is through service. And my parents taught me that true leadership is not being served, it's serving others. And that's the real gift of what I want to share to our youth today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable and beautiful Mille Samuelu, contestant number 1.
Our next young lady to grace the podium stands tall in her light and represents her love to educate and enhance young minds. Please make welcome to the stage your contestant number 2, Julyanne Godiva Lupesina Poutoa.
Nelson Mandela once said, "Education's the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world." Ta alofa lava and warm greetings. As someone who's studying a Bachelor of Education and is a teacher aide, I believe that education is one of the most powerful tools we can give to a person. When I hear the phrase better education, I don't simply think of better classrooms, better technology, or better textbooks. I think of better opportunities, better communities, and a better future. Education is one of the most powerful tools we have, but better education goes beyond teaching students what to think. It teaches them how to think. It encourages curiosity, builds confidence, develops compassion, and prepares people to face the challenges of an ever-changing world. Better education equips people with the knowledge and skills needed to navigate life's challenges. Most importantly, it gives people the freedom to choose their path and contribute positively to their families, communities, and society. As a proud Samoan woman, I was raised with the values of falualo, tautua, and the belief that knowledge is meant to be shared. My family taught me that education is not only about personal success, it's about using what we learn to serve others and strengthen our communities. One of the greatest honors of my life was becoming the first Polynesian school captain at my selective high school. Standing in that position, I realized that better education had given me something far greater than academic achievement. It had given me confidence, resilience, and the courage to lead. It showed me that leadership is not only about being the loudest voice in the room, but about creating opportunities for others to be heard. That experience inspired me to become a role model for young Pacific students. I wanted them to know that where you come from shouldn't limit where you can go. When young people receive a better education, they begin to believe in possibilities that they may never have imagined before. When we invest in better education, we invest in future leaders, innovators, and role models. As Pacific people, we say that our children are our greatest treasure. By providing quality education, we are ensuring that future generations have the tools to preserve our culture, strengthen our communities, and succeed in an ever-changing world. Education allows us to honour our heritage while embracing new opportunities. However, we must also recognise that not every child has access to quality education. Better education means creating learning environments that are inclusive, equitable, and supportive, where every child, regardless of their background, culture, or circumstance, has the opportunity to reach their full potential. To close, when we educate one person, we don't just change one life. We strengthen families, uplift communities, and inspire future generations. Whawhetai tele lava.
Thank you, Julyanne. Well done. We will now hand it over to the judges for their questions.
Malo saunoa, whawhetai mo le whalasanga manino. The question is, how can the Samoan community in New South Wales better support educational success among our young people? How can the Samoan community in New South Wales better support educational success among our young people?
Thank you for the question. The Samoan communities in New South Wales can better support our youth in their educational success by creating leadership and mentorship programs to build up our youth, especially implemented in schools. Programs such as, One Village, they can help mentor these children to push further past their limits, build them up, build their confidence and resilience to be able to support their education needs so they're able to prosper in their learning.
Whawhetai.
The second question.
Talofa, Julyanne, what method would you use to take the message across to our youth, especially our community, to bring our community closer to our culture, especially our faith? What method would you use to bring our culture closer to our community, especially with faith?
Thank you for the question. I believe Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. One method I would say to bring our culture closer, especially involving faith, is by using my voice to empower young kids to seek God with all their heart, to read the word and to spread the word, to serve them, using tautua to be able to serve their communities, even in small ways. By reading the word, it helps us to prosper, to ask God for his wisdom, his knowledge, to build us up, to bring us closer to our culture and to our faith. Whawhetai lava.
Ladies and gentlemen, give her a round of applause. Contestant number 2.
I must say, it's not easy to stand here in front of everybody in such a formal setting. So please, let's give them all another round of applause. At this time, if we can get our team to get the setup for contestant number 3. Our next young lady to grace the podium is ambitious, determined, and overall go-getter. Please make welcome to the stage your contestant number 3, Malua Tuuainafua, Leo Aleni Letele.
We all understand what it takes to build a home. A strong house begins with a solid foundation and is held up by strong pillars. Yet while we spend our lives building homes for our families and our futures, we often forget something just as important, our mental health. Like a house, our well-being depends on strong pillars. Connection, identity, belonging, self-care, and love. And as Samoans, we understand this deeply through the concept of tausi leva, nurturing the sacred relational space between people, o leva o oe malo uso a tangata. Tausi leva is how we strengthen one of those pillars, connection. And when one pillar is strengthened, the whole house becomes strong. Modern research now confirms what our ancestors have always known. Strong relationships and social support are among the greatest protective factors for mental well-being. Connection to family, culture, and community reduces that psychological distress. Our culture is not separate from well-being, it is a part of the medicine. Within our homes, we are raised to be resilient, respectful, and strong. We are taught to care for others and serve our communities. These are our strengths. But in carrying them, we sometimes forget that it's okay to be human. It's okay to feel hurt, to grieve, to be overwhelmed. Emotional expression is not weakness, it is human. And when people feel safe to express it, healing begins. So how do we change that? We start with a simple approach: nurture, notice, navigate. Notice changes in mood, behavior, or energy. A smile can hide a struggle, and silence often speaks the loudest. Nurture, create spaces where people feel safe, heard, and valued without judgment. Navigate, guide people towards support, whether that's family, friends, church, community, or professionals. No one is meant to carry life alone. Imagine the kind of communities we could build if every person felt noticed, if every relationship was nurtured, if every person knew someone would help them navigate life's storms. But change does not only begin in communities. It begins at home, in the spaces we often overlook, in how we speak, in how we listen, in the conversations we choose to have. Maybe we move from asking, o amai oe, to, o yaise meo mo mawhailo mawhauwhau. Because behind the smiles and achievements we see, there are struggles we do not. And if there is one thing I hope we take away today, it's this. Every pillar is held by connection, every foundation is strengthened by care, and every home is made stronger when we tausi leva. It is not just the house we see, but the people within it, the lives within it, the hearts within it. Because sometimes the conversations we choose to have today may become the reason someone chooses to stay tomorrow. Whaftai.
Judge, we ready?
Contestant number 3. A National Health Institute of... okay. Is it on? Yes. Okay. Right. A National Health Institute of Australia study highlights the prevalence of psychological distress, anxiety, and depression in younger Pacific individuals. Sorry. Especially in Greater Western Sydney society. Sorry, I get really emotional with this question. And it's largely driven by socioeconomic, culture, stigma experiences. And my question for you is, how would you take this platform to utilize? How are you going to help raise the awareness and to help mitigate these mental health issues within our neighborhood? Thank you.
Mental health is a very broad topic. Personally, I didn't understand mental health fully. And mental health can be positive and negative at the same time. As mentioned in my speech today, mental health is what makes you human. It's what makes us human. For me to use the platform, the Miss Samoa New South Wales platform, I would collaborate with different organisations or different programs that are already in port within Australia today. And a lot of our schools, we have a program called Are You OK Day? Yes, it is for the broader of every culture and every ethnicity, but I would love to actually sit down with the people that organise it and see how we can implement that specifically to our Pacifica youth today. Our culture is very different. Our culture is connected to our mental health and our well-being. We cannot separate it. In order for us to move forward and in order for us to have meaningful conversations with our family, we have to be able to sit down and actually make our parents understand what we may be going through as young Pacific Islanders today. And yes, it is very hard. There's many stigma that comes along with it, and many topics of depression, anxiety, suicide that we do not talk about because they're taboo topics within our community. So in order for us to actually push forward, we need our youth to first understand what their identity is before we can come to our parents, before we can come to our grandparents, our families, and explain to them what we may be going through. And it's very hard. It's very hard. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's something that we can start with. As my sister said as well, there's already programs out there for our Pacifica kids. There's the One Love mentoring, there's the Village, there's also the PCC as well, which is the Pacific Covenant Counselors. Those are the type of programs that it takes one step to go further to actually talk about our mental health well-being. Whaftai.
Our next judge. Talofa Malua.
Alofa.
Malo lava le sai. Malo foi le tawata lo sunga to my tai tova ne tai au. Viele tua mole lano foa iala ilo mala malama. Male atamai. Wow, tell very tough topic, honestly, to me. To all of us, but we've been educated about that. So let me ask you something. Do you prefer me to ask your questions in Samoa or in English? Nah, I'm just joking. But I do believe you speak very good Samoan. Because o le mea nai tau, wa a toa le teine sa moa ia te oe, o lau ngangana. Doesn't matter about other knowledge, but speak your language, your mother tongue, That is beautiful. Whawtai moro tau mwhai. Yeah, let me ask you something, please. Malua. Mental health issues, substance abuse are increasingly prevalent among Pacifica youth. In various parts of New South Wales, prominent concerns. What do you think are some of the barriers, hindrances, Pacifica young people in these regions from accessing necessary support? That's my question, please. Malua, tai lava.
Sorry, could you just repeat the question, Whamole?
Yeah.
Could you repeat the question, Whamole?
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Only question. What do you think are some of the barriers hindering Pacifica young people in these regions from accessing or finding necessary support?
I think the barriers that we have as young Pacifica kids is shame. Ole ma.
Thank you.
We're ashamed to come forward. We don't want to disappoint our families. As Samoans, we have so many expectations, and sometimes it's so hard to reach them. And that shame needs to be moved out of the way so that we're able to move forward to actually access those resources. As I mentioned, one of the 3 steps that I would say is to notice, nurture, and navigate. And navigate is where we struggle. We struggle as Pacificas and any individuals, adults, young adults, kids, to actually find those resources. Because sometimes we may not find it in our homes. Very hard to find it in our homes. So these programs that I've mentioned before are the first steps to actually being able to open up. And for people that are born here in Australia, Samoa, that are Samoans, it's very difficult, very difficult. But the one thing that we may have to just put aside is our pride and the shamefulness that comes with it, because that's the first step to actually being able to move forward. Whawtai.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 3. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we all give our contestants another round of applause? That was amazing.
I just want to say also, Pololo, to our judges and our scrutineers, thank you for being heartfelt. Thank you for emoting. Obviously, the nervousness on your part is just as nerve-wracking as our ladies that are here today. Thank you for showing us your vulnerability and your questions. We are incredibly honoured to have all of you here.
It is not easy for our young Tuuainafua Samoa to stand in this room in a formal setting, as we mentioned before. E le whaingofie, ia le tutu o nei a tātou whānau, ia ma avatu latou presentation le nea. So thank you so much. As we come to the end of our pre-pageant interview segment, I would like to take the moment to sincerely thank all of our contestants. Thank you for your courage. You're going to make me cry. Thank you for your confidence and your willingness to step outside of your comfort zone today. It actually takes great bravery to stand before others, to share your thoughts and represent yourselves, your families, and we are incredibly proud of each and every one of you for embracing this first stage of the pageant journey and giving it your very best. Malo le tā pena, wha malo atu le sā ili ili, wha whitai lava wa malie, matai waai, wa malia fo i le wha alongo le nei tai au. Thank you very much. I would also like to extend our heartfelt appreciation, as you mentioned, to our scrutineers and judges. Some of these topics hit home for many people who sit in here, and I'm so glad that these came up in our topics today. So we thank you generously for your time, your expertise, and your very thoughtful consideration throughout today's interviews. Your commitment and support are greatly valued and play an important role in this competition, and for anyone who assisted our young tamaitai whaafitai te lava.
Also, before we come to our conclusion, Balolo, myself, and the beautiful Priscilla Tato have been working with the ladies for the last 6 weeks in rehearsals. So we have been there aimlessly, tirelessly with these young ladies. Every day after work, they have all shown up. And we are so excited for what you're all about to see next week. Oh, I cannot wait. I really can't. Now, this concludes the first official segment of the Miss Samoa New South Wales. And we look forward to seeing all of our contestants shine once again on the crowning night. Now, as I said, the ladies have worked tirelessly over the last 6 weeks, and we assure you, you are not just going to see a pageant. You will be seeing a true intervention of showmanship and class. It will be quite the showcase. Sadly, we will be bidding farewell to a young lady who has stood tall and lived gracefully in the light. This young lady has had such an incredible journey. And she has gifted us women in this committee an amazing gift of heart and integrity, a narrative that no one else can ever live by. To our beautiful Miss Reigning, Samoa New South Wales, I would love the pleasure to invite you to perform the Taualunga to finish off today's formalities. Le te milene o te wala auina atu ma le whaalu alu. Le tausala ia po le awhionga taia opo Priscilla Tato. E te whio mai, e te sa Taulunga ele o Tato Polokalame o lene aso. And once she has presented her final Taulunga, we would like to invite Pastor Tato for a closing prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, not for the final time, to the stage, our gracious Taia Opo Priscilla Tato. welcoming the beautiful Tuuainafua Priscilla Tato. Contestants, what am I may look at? Contestant number 1, contestant number 2, and contestant number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of those watching alone over the globe, these will be your contestants vying for the crown for 2026 Miss Samoa New South Wales. Thank you, ladies. That's never too early. Please make welcome to the stage Pastor Tato for our closing prayer. Thank you.
Tato fai utalo. Mato fafta tule tuane tula leso. O le viinga mo le whamanu, mo le whane tanga e fo yantu ya joe. Whaptai ne yaso le lia o mātou mole mawina le lie. Alo ma whanau ta maitai le lie. Lantou sauni a wale tau vanga o le whamoe moenga le lie. Mātou talo tuina atu ya te o le whamoe moe. Whamanuia nei ta maitai. Whamanuia i ainga. Whamanuia sponsors, talo fo I whamanuia le komiti le alia maite o whamasino o judges le maise le alia I lanto umalava la whapena o na iai le afiafi talo iai lo manuia lo mātou atua whamanuia na yaso lo mātou ta peatu I o mātou ainga malutia lo mātou wola I o au alofa le atua whamanuia le alia tu mau ia te oe le viinga Yesu. Amen.